Hello guys, and this is the Plushie Fan. Now, today is going to be a lot more different than it usually is. Usually I do plush video. However, I recently have just been to a theme park and I want to talk about it. If you guys didn't know, I have a huge obsession with Universal Studio parks. I've been to the Orlando one like a couple of times and I had a really good time to it. But the park I always seen that gets forgotten a lot, but it is a very good park, is Universal Studios Hollywood. Sure, the park does not have that many rides, but the rides that are there are really good and are some of the best in the entire world. Okay, like I don't mean by that, like not the best in the entire world, but I still pretty much like everything in the park. And if you guys are newer fans to the channel, then actually I had a video that was like 2 years ago where I ranked every single ride at Universal Studios Hollywood. But things have changed with the brand new Super Nintendo World, and I got to experience the brand new Mario Kart Bowser Challenge. I have been on all 12 rides in the park, and I want to rank all 12 of them. With the more recent additions to the park, I'm just going to rank all 12 because I'm bored and I think plush videos are boring, but I still want to do them, even though they are boring. So let's rank all 12 rides in Universal Studios Hollywood! I'm not sure why I said it like that. Yeah, last place is Super Swirly Fun Ride. Not much. This is just a pretty generic ride. At number 11 is the DreamWorks Theater featuring Kung Fu Panda. Well, this ride has good effects. I honestly thought it was kind of boring. Even my sister got a headache on this ride. It's just pretty okay, I guess. Number 10 is the Flight of the Hippogriff. I definitely gave this ride quite the hate 2 years ago. I think this ride is very fun, though it's very short. If the ride was longer, it actually could have been higher on the list. It's very disappointing, so yeah, just put Hagrid's here. Number 9 is Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. I really like the movies. Well, not really the second one or the Minion movie. However, this is a good ride. However, in Orlando, it is horrible. In Hollywood, it's fun. I'm not sure why, though. This ride has some good pre-shows. The actual ride itself is fine, I guess. It's a fun ride. The video they play is good. However, compared to everything else, it has to be ranked here. Number 8 is The Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash. I gave this ride a little hate on my last ranking. However, I actually thought this ride was pretty good. The queue is amazing. Probably the best queue in the park. And the animatronics are good. So what ranks this ride lower? Well, for one, the seat restrictions are just awful. They're so tight for just a slow ride. 2, the ride breaks down a lot. It broke down 4 times when I was on it. I'm not sure why it breaks down all the time. So, yeah, it just breaks down a lot. I do really like this ride. However, compared to everything else, it has to be ranked. Number 7 is the ride I ranked at number 1 on my last list, the Simpson ride. Before you say it, no, it's not as good as I remember. Definitely not. However, it's still a fun ride. I don't really understand the hate for it besides, people getting motion sickness on it, and it's a simulator. The queue is kind of boring, but there are some cool videos on it. The pre-shows are super well done. They're so good, and they immerse you into the world. And the ride itself is pretty fun. It has some good water effects, and it really does immerse you into the world. However, I will admit the ride is getting old, and I am pretty angry at Disney for getting the contracts for this. Now they own The Simpsons, and this ride will get demolished in 2028. However, it's still a good ride. I would recommend it, but it's not as good as others.
Yeah, number 6 goes to Transformers The Ride 3D. This is actually my mom's favorite ride. I don't know why I had to mention that. However, this is still a cool ride. It has some great effects, it's very fun, it's very intense, and it's overall just a fun ride. And, well, yeah, Spider-Man's 10 times better than this. It's still a good ride. The queue is very well themed. The story, well, kind of lame, still fits. And it's overall just a very fun ride. The only reason it's not ranked higher on the list is because I do think other rides are better than this, like Mummy or Harry Potter or Mario Kart. However, this is still a very fun ride, and I do think I would recommend it because it is very fun, and just if you have like a couple of minutes to spare, then I would recommend Transformers. It doesn't really seem to get a long way because everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to Mario Kart. However, it's still a good ride and I would recommend it. Number 5 is the Studio Tour. Now, even though I really like this ride, I kind of gave it a little hate on my last ranking, even though it was on number 5, where it still is now. The Studio Tour is very impressive. It has some good scenes, like the Jaws, and it's overall very cool, I should say. I'm not sure how to describe it because I don't really remember much of it. However, the King Kong was very good, but not Fast and Furious. That's still horrible. I'm sorry, but Fast and Furious was an awful experience. Good thing it's at like the very end of the experience, so at least that's a good thing. Honestly, yeah, the Studio Tour was very unique. However, there are still some problems with it. The seats feel pretty cheap in my opinion. They're kind of ripped. I don't know how to really describe the ride. Second of all, you can get pretty soaked on that like part where dinosaurs spit water at you. I didn't really like that. So, yeah, it's not the best thing, however, but this is an absolute must-do and you should do it. Number 4 is Revenge of the Mummy, the ride. Now, I rode this ride like 8 times on my latest trip, and my sisters rode it like 11 for some reason. So, I could have more of an opinion on this one because I basically remember everything of the ride. For one, the ride is so good that it meant, I don't know what that means, but it is so scary. Like, the animatronics in the first half work really well, and this is one of the funnest rides in the park. Also, the roller coaster part is super fast and super fun, and it's truly scary. And also, it had probably the most iconic line on any Universal Studios Hollywood ride. There's no place to hide, your souls are mine. That's just so iconic. I mean, my sister's rode it like 11 times, but this is a fantastic ride. Number 3 is Mario Kart's Bowser's Challenge. Okay, if I had to describe this ride with one word, it would be fun. Seriously, I did not expect this ride to be that good, but it was. This was the first ride I did that day because I literally had to run to it so the ride didn't get like a 3-hour wait. And as soon as I got off of it, it did get a 3-hour wait, which is kind of hilarious. But this is such a masterpiece of a ride. Everything about it is so well done. And even though it doesn't have that much speed in it, the VR works so well in the ride. It's addictively fun. It's like Toy Story Mania at Disney's Hollywood Studios, where it's like addictively fun. I don't know why I compared this to Toy Story Mania. But honestly, I love this ride. It is so much fun, and it is incredibly re-rideable. I had to ride it twice at like the very end of the day because I lost to Bowser, and I had to rewrite it so I could beat Bowser, and I did. Oh my god. I could make an entire video on why this ride is so good, but I'm just going to leave it with a couple of things. The queue is well done, the Bowser statue is incredible, and it combines the Yoshi queue here. Great ride, must do, next. Number 2 on this list is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, and I finally know how to say that word. I don't really have much to say about this masterpiece. The facade is incredible. I don't even know how they built this. The technology on this ride is amazing. This is the ride that changed the theme park industry. The ride's screens, well, are not the best. They're still pretty good, and they do immerse you into the world. It's intense, it's truly scary, and it's super fun. I don't even have much to say. This is just a fantastic ride, and it's an absolute must-do to anyone who goes to the park, but there's one ride that's better. And number 1, the best ride in Universal Studios Hollywood is Jurassic World the ride. Now, I used to despise this ride because I used to hate getting wet. I ranked it at number 6 on my last list. But re-riding this masterpiece, oh my god, this is the best water ride I have ever been on. Yes, I like this ride more than Splash Mountain. But hear me out. The one in Orlando's awful. Like, it's so outdated. But the Hollywood one is a masterpiece. The indoor part has some great animatronics, and the outdoor part is really well done, especially the first part of the ride. I'm absolutely speechless. The only bad thing I will say is that the queue is very poorly themed. Like, they could have done so much with this queue, but they really didn't. Even Popeye and Dudley had better queues at Orlando. But this ride is so much fun. But I have not even mentioned the drop. The drop in Orlando is so rough. The one in Hollywood, however, is so smooth and so much fun. Usually I prefer roughness over smooth. However, that's not the case for Jurassic Park River Adventure. River Adventure's ride is very outdated and boring, but Jurassic World, the ride, is so new, so much fun. I love the Hollywood one. Okay, Universal, just change the Orlando one, please. Change the Orlando one, please, okay? We do not want... okay, bye.